Pleased to be joined on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline by Charlie Parks from the University of Saskatchewan. Huskies is, hey, football season, it's coming up quick. And I guess, Charlie, for you, how quick is the CFL Combine coming up?
Man, it's something else, to be honest. Feels like I started Combine training like a month ago, and it's already next week, so...
Yeah, no doubt. It does go by quick, and we will get into that preparation in a little bit, but is now time dragging as we start to get closer, or is it speeding up?
I don't know. I feel like, honestly, it's kind of just moving the same. It's just, status quo stuff. Still training just as hard, not trying to push any harder just because it's close. And, yeah, just take every day as another day, and nothing gets too big or too fast.
Well, Charlie, we had a chance to talk prior to the Vanier Cup. Again, obviously an outcome that you would love to change in a heartbeat. But since then, what has Charlie Parks been up to?
Man, getting terrorized by classes. Getting terrorized by classes. Lifting, eating, just kind of hanging out. Apart from that, watching lots of hockey.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm not going to pick your brain on hockey and how bad the Toronto Maple Leafs are because they should have came to the aid of Austin Matthews. We won't talk about that, but we will talk.
I mean, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask about that. I'm a Habs fan anyway.
Oh, so in other words, you're loving that. I get that. Fair enough. Well, tell me about your off season then. Has it changed this year over any other year now that you're preparing for a combine?
The structure of it hasn't really changed very much, but just like the content of my training has. The combine's it's a specific set of skills that you really need to develop in order to perform well there. And so your training has to reflect that. So, me and Jack have still been around the team a ton, lifting with them, just kind of doing our own thing.
You had two other teammates that participated in the Combine last year, and Daniel Wiebe. Of course, you look at the success that he had. Seth Hundeby, Lane Novak, of course, has gone through the entire process. Do you lean on them and ask them about what you should expect or do?
Yeah, definitely. Have asked them for a lot of help. Less with the training side of it. We put our trust pretty surely in Joel Lipinski and Graham Black and those two and what they've done with a bunch of other Huskies over the years, sending them to the Combine. It's just been awesome, and I trust in what they're telling me to do fully. It's been more so the help with the, what to expect from the interviews, how you dress, how you conduct yourself, that kind of stuff. And it's been a really good resource for us to have.
A lot of people don't think about the off-field stuff that occurs, Charlie. How are you preparing for it? Because the interview process is something else. It's basically the ultimate job interview, dare I say?
Yeah, definitely. It's, when you really step back and think about what this could mean for my future, it gets a little bit big. But I'm gonna go in there, and like I said in November, I'm just gonna go in, be myself, maybe try to watch my language a little more. I'm just gonna go in, be myself, dress nice, and I think just being genuine will be the best thing I could do.
Charlie Parks, you last year terrorized quarterbacks and, well, let's just face it, offensive linemen at the same time. 11 sacks in your collegiate career, 6.5 of them last year, 8 tackles for loss. How do you translate those statistical numbers that also have an impact on team play to what the numbers you want them to be at the Combine, showing the skills that you've got in game, now having to produce them in your solo endeavor, if you will?
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest guy. I make a lot of my plays and do a lot of my work with my speed and my brain. And so that's been kind of the MO, is like just, make sure that I'm best equipped to show, how fast, how quick I can be, how agile I can be, how explosive a mover I am. And then just luckily we're blessed CFL Combine to have, a few days of on-field practices, with team periods and one-on-ones and stuff like that they maybe don't get elsewhere. And I think that my game will really shine through there.
Obviously, being adaptable is something that you've done throughout your career, making sure that you're versatile and on the field in good spots. How do you prepare for the unexpected or unknown, if there is such a thing at the CFL Combine?
And just make sure you're not too tight, not making the moment too big. It's as the way I look at it, it's just the same. I'm going to be prepping for it the same way I'd prep for a playoff game. It's, I'm going to make sure I get to bed at the right time. I'm going to make sure I eat my pregame meal. I'm going to make sure I, do all my little things to just take everything that I can control and control it, so that I've got as much mental space ready for unknowns as I can.
Well, you mentioned the playoffs. Obviously, the stages continue to get bigger as you progress. So do you need to go ahead and maybe channel that energy to not make the stage or the setting too big and just focus on what's in front of you?
Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest thing, It's just I'm here for a reason. I'm not here on as a joke or because of somebody pulling strings for me. I'm here because I earned it, and I earned it because I'm good enough to be here.
That's a great mindset. So when you look at the numbers that you're going to earn at the Combine, do you have your targets set on specific standards that you want to reach, or do you even worry about what the numbers show up on the scoreboard as?
The only standard that I ever really set for myself is better than the last time I did it.
And that's an amazing perspective. So you mentioned there's also the on-field aspect that the NFL Combine doesn't use. A lot of guys use pro days, so on and so forth, to accomplish that. So how much fun, is that the right word, when it comes to those one-on-one battles or those team settings that you get the opportunity to compete in?
Fun is definitely the right word. Any excuse I get to play more football is a great one in my mind. I'm honestly excited for the whole thing. Excited to go in, compete against myself in the testing, and then compete against, guys that I know, guys that I don't know in the on-field stuff. It's gonna be super fun. I just love competing.
Okay, you get the chance to compete in Edmonton. Do you fully know what to expect? This is the last question going in. Are you confident that you understand what needs to happen and how it's going to happen in Edmonton, or are there still some unknowns to be solved?
No, I'm confident, very confident. Probably, maybe too much, but.
Well, so long as you've got your Wheaties to start your day right, I'm sure it's going to fall into place for you, Charlie. I appreciate you doing this, and everyone in Saskatchewan is cheering you on, wishing you the best of luck in Edmonton.
Thank you very much.
University of Saskatchewan Huskies defensive lineman Charlie Parks joining us as he gets set to take part in the CFL Combine. We'll have more coming up on the Sports Cage in a moment. This is the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM.